What if I told you that day after day, you're letting your most powerful resource slip away without even realizing it? Imagine a superpower that can create life, fuel your goals, and unlock the hidden secrets of the universe. And now imagine throwing it away again and again as if it were worthless. This is what happens every time you give in to automatic behavior. You lose the energy that could take you to your highest level. It's not a question of guilt or shame. It's a question of ... personal domain, of your ability to control your mind, your body, and the course of your destiny. Every moment of pleasure comes with a hidden price: depleted energy, weakened focus, shattered will. You've lived this way for so long. Did you think it's normal ... But what if it isn't? What if what you've been taught is natural is actually the trap, preventing you from becoming who you've always wanted to be? Stay until the end of this video, because I'm going to show you what you've never been told about your life force. You've been led to believe that ejaculation is just a harmless biological function, a stress reliever, a meaningless release. But what no one told you is that with every release, you're giving up the very essence that sustains your mind, body, and soul. You were not born to waste this power. You were born to cultivate it, develop it, and use it to fuel your greatness. Ancient traditions knew this. Modern science is only beginning to confirm it. Your sexual energy is not simply a means of reproduction. It is much more than that. This is your life force. In Taoist philosophy, it is called Jin, the raw essence of your vitality. In Hinduism, it is Kundalini, the coiled serpent of energy that, once harnessed, can awaken higher states of consciousness. In the West, great minds throughout history, such as Leonardo da Vinci, Tesla, and Newton, are said to have practiced retention, channeling their sexual energy toward genius, innovation, and enlightenment. However, in today's world, this knowledge is buried beneath a layer of misinformation, ridicule, and distraction. They don't want you to know the power within you, because a man who controls his own energy becomes invincible. Science is finally catching up with what the ancients understood thousands of years ago. Every drop of cement is packed with essential nutrients, bioelectric energy, and hormonal compounds that directly affect your strength, focus, and clarity. Zinc, magnesium, selenium, and essential amino acids all play a vital role in brain function, testosterone production, and cell regeneration. By wasting this energy indiscriminately, you profoundly weaken yourself. Your body must work harder to replenish what you've lost, diverting your energy from your goals, ambition, and purpose. The more we waste, the weaker we become, not only physically, but also mentally and spiritually. And yet, society encourages this cycle of exhaustion. Think back to puberty. You were bombarded with messages that trivialized self-liberation as a sign of maturity, health, and normalcy. They filled your mind with images, stories, and expectations designed to keep you trapped in a cycle of instant gratification. But they never told you the price you pay. They never told you that with each release, you rob yourself of focus, willpower, and drive. They never told you that this is why you feel exhausted, lazy, and uninspired. There's a reason athletes, warriors, and spiritual leaders throughout history have practiced semen retention. It wasn't superstition. It was science before science even had words to describe it. By conserving your sexual energy, you store up pure creative power, the same power that can build empires, fuel artistic breakthroughs, and sharpen your ability to manifest what you desire. It's a fire that, properly channeled, transforms into charisma, presence, and clarity of mind. And when you stop wasting it, something changes inside you. You walk differently. You speak more confidently. People notice your energy without knowing why. But if this knowledge is so powerful, why isn't it widespread? Why isn't it taught in schools? Why do doctors and so-called experts dismiss it as pseudoscience? Because staying exhausted weakens you. A man constantly drained of energy is easier to control. He is less likely to resist, question, or defy the system. He is more likely to be distracted, lost in a fog of pleasure-seeking, numbed by the very habits that keep him small. A society of weak men is a society that is easy to manipulate, easy to sell, easy to keep dormant. The moment you begin to retain, to harness that energy, instead of wasting it, you begin to awaken. Your body begins to heal. Your mind sharpens. Your soul feels stronger than it has in years. It's not magic. It's biology, chemistry. It's the law of nature. And if you doubt it, try it for yourself. Don't slack off for a week and feel the difference. Continue for 2 weeks and notice a surge of energy. Continue for a month and you'll understand why this knowledge was kept from you. Because he who controls his energy controls his destiny. The modern world thrives only on your addiction to pleasure. Every product, every ad, every algorithm is designed to hijack your dopamine, keeping you trapped in a cycle of chasing the next fast. And there's no worse trap than one that exploits your most primal urge. You've been told that self-liberation is harmless, natural, and even beneficial for your health. What if this is the biggest lie of all? What if, every time you give in, you reprogram your brain to be weak, sabotaging your own success and destroying the very energy that makes you human? Science is only scratching the surface of the effects of withholding on the human body and mind. When you conserve your sexual energy, an incredible phenomenon occurs in just a few days. Your testosterone levels begin to rise, peaking around day 7. Studies have shown that men who abstain from ejaculating for just 1 week can experience a 145.7% increase in their serum testosterone levels. This is not a placebo. It's a chemical change in your body that directly affects your self-confidence, your ability to concentrate, and your drive to succeed. And that's just the beginning. Testosterone is the hormone of dominance, ambition, and power. When it's high, you approach life differently, think more clearly, act without hesitation, and naturally become more attractive to others. It sharpens your mind, strengthens your willpower, and makes you more resilient under pressure. But when it's low, the opposite happens. You become indecisive, passive, and weak. You act half-heartedly instead of taking action. You feel unmotivated, stuck in your thoughts, and unable to shake off doubt. And what's the fastest way to lower your testosterone? You already know the answer, don't you? Stop right there. Holding back increases your sensitivity to dopamine, which determines your motivation and enjoyment of life. Every time you hold back, you flood your brain with a surge of dopamine, an artificial effect that gradually desensitizes your receptors. This is why men who constantly indulge in self-liberation often feel lethargic, unmotivated, and unresponsive to the joys of life. Their brains have been trapped by instant gratification, blinding them to the deeper, more satisfying pleasures of discipline, achievement, and purpose. But when we stop, when we hold back, something extraordinary happens. Dopamine receptors reset. Things that once seemed boring or uninteresting work, social interactions, personal goals, suddenly become exciting. You regain the ability to find meaning in life and experience deep satisfaction in what truly matters. Withholding also improves your nervous system, resulting in sharper reflexes, faster reaction times, and heightened awareness. Studies have shown that refraining from ejaculation increases the reflex excitability of the spinal cord, meaning your body responds more quickly and effectively to external stimuli. This isn't just beneficial for athletes. It's beneficial for anyone who wants to achieve peak performance. Whether physically, mentally, or spiritually, your body literally becomes stronger. Your endurance increases, and your ability to overcoming challenges is empowering. And then there's the effect on energy and aura, something science still struggles to explain, but ancient wisdom has always known. You've probably noticed it yourself. Men who hold back have a different presence. There's power in their gaze, confidence in their gestures, intensity in their way of speaking. You can feel it. Women are drawn to it. Men respect it, and opportunities seem to come to them effortlessly. This is no accident. By conserving your energy, you project another frequency, that of control, determination, pure masculine power. But let's be clear, this isn't about never having sex. It's about mastery. It's about breaking the cycle of mental complacency and regaining control of your most powerful source of energy. It's about making a conscious choice. Do you let your desires control you, or do you control them? Because the men who truly understand this secret, the ones who master their own energy, are the ones who rise above the crowd, who accomplish things others can't, who access a power most never have. He realizes what he has. The system doesn't want you to know it. That's why it ridicules it, represses it, and mocks anyone who talks about it. It wants to lock you into a cycle of liberation and exhaustion, numbed by your own indulgence, too weak to resist the distractions it throws your way. For a man drained of his life force is easy to manipulate. But once you see the truth, once you feel the power of conserving your energy, there is no turning back. A war is raging right now, and most men don't even realize they are on the losing side. It is not fought with weapons or armies. It takes place in the shadows, in moments of silence, out of sight, in the privacy of your mind. It's a war against your attention, your will, and your very essence as a man. And the most powerful weapon they've deployed against you is pornography. They told you it's harmless, normal, that everyone does it. They say it's just a way to relieve stress, to blow off steam, to satisfy a craving. But what they won't tell you is that it's one of the most effective tools ever, created to keep you weak, distracted, and spiritually numb. Every time you use it, you're fueling an addiction that reprograms your brain for self-destruction. You're programming yourself to become a slave to instant gratification, to seek convenience instead of what's meaningful. The science on pornography is undeniable. It hijacks the brain's reward system in the same way that hard drugs do. It floods your body with an unnatural surge of dopamine, creating an artificial state of euphoria that ultimately weakens your receptors. The more you consume, the more addicted your brain becomes, requiring more extreme content to feel the same level of stimulation. And with every click, with every pleasure, you become further disconnected from the pleasures of life. The simple things that once brought you joy, with fewer conversations, accomplishments, and connections start to feel dull and lifeless. Your baseline happiness plummets, and suddenly, nothing excites you except the next fix. And that's exactly how they like you. The weaker you are, the easier you are to control. A man who's exhausted, unfocused, and addicted to an endless cycle of consumption is no threat. She's docile, predictable, trapped in her own cage, never realizing that the key was in her hands all along. Because here's the truth, they don't just profit from your addiction, They engineered it. The porn industry isn't just a multi-billion-dollar machine. It's a tool of control. It distracts you, isolates you, and makes you too numb to rise above mediocrity. Think of the time, energy, and ambition this habit has stolen from you. Think of the dreams you've abandoned, the relationships you've neglected, the moments of creativity and passion lost in the fog of your own indulgence. The true cost of this addiction isn't just measured in wasted hours. It's measured in the version of yourself that never existed. The version of yourself that was focused, driven, powerful. The version of yourself that could have built something great. That could have stood tall, unshakable, in complete command of your mind. It's not just your brain. It's deeper than that. Every time you indulge in pornography, you weaken your mind. You disconnect from the part of yourself that is meant to grow, flourish, and transcend. Ancient traditions knew this. That's why all major spiritual systems warned against uncontrolled sexual excess. Taoism, Tantra, Hinduism, and even the monastic traditions of Christianity and Buddhism all understood that sexual energy is sacred. It is the very force that fuels spiritual awakening, the fire that, if properly directed, can lift you to enlightenment. But when this energy is wasted, absorbed by mental complacency, it has the opposite effect. It dims your light, plunging you into a spiritual slumber. Have you noticed that after watching pornography, after giving in to that urge, you feel bad? Perhaps you feel empty, perhaps you have less self-confidence, less centered, less in control of yourself. This is no coincidence. It's your energy being depleted. It's your awareness weakening. It's your mind warning you that you're on the wrong path. And the more you ignore that voice, the weaker it gets, until one day you can't hear it anymore. Most men will never escape this trap. They will live their lives trapped in an endless cycle of self-indulgence, never realizing the potential they've wasted. But you have a choice. You can wake up, take back your power. And that starts with recognizing the system for what it truly is. A machine designed to keep you weak. Once you understand this, you can free yourself. Once you understand the price, you'll never see it the same way again. But awareness is only the first step, because now that you've understood the trap, it's time to discover its real secret. Like this very energy. The energy you've wasted is actually the key to unlocking your higher self. There's a reason every great spiritual tradition throughout history has warned against wasting sexual energy, not out of morality or shame, but because they understood something modern society has made us forget. Sexual energy is the key to accessing our higher selves. It's the bridge between the physical and the spiritual, the force that can lift us to new levels of consciousness, or lock you into the lower spheres of existence. And currently, most people are stuck, their energy escaping every time they give in to their desires, without realizing the sacrifice they are making. In Taoist practices, this is called Jing, the very essence of life. In Tantra, it is Shakti, the divine force that nourishes enlightenment. In traditional Kundalini, it is the awakened serpent coiled at the base of the spine. And in Western esotericism, it is spoken of in hushed tones, hidden in symbols, locked in secret teachings that only a few have truly understood. But one thing is certain: those who knew this secret protected it, preserved it, and practiced it religiously, because they understood that sexual energy isn't just about pleasure. It's the pure power that fuels transformation, manifestation, and spiritual ascension. But in today's world, this knowledge has been erased. You are now being taught that sex is merely a physical act, that ejaculation is merely a biological function, That pleasure is something to be mentally surrendered to. You're being kept in the dark, preventing you from discovering what happens when you truly cultivate this energy. For when you stop wasting it, when you begin to redirect it rather than release it, something profound begins to happen. Your mind sharpens, your creativity flourishes, your focus becomes unwavering. You begin to feel a deeper sense of purpose in your life, as if something within you is awakening for the first time. The energy you so easily lose begins to expand within you, flowing through your body, strengthening your spirit. Your presence changes. People notice something different about you, even if they have trouble explaining it. Your aura becomes more magnetic, your words more impactful, your confidence unshakable. Women sense it, other men respect it, and opportunities that were once unattainable present themselves to you effortlessly. This is no accident. This is what happens when you stop dissipating your power and start cultivating it. But it's not just about attraction or success. It's about something much deeper. By conserving your energy, your spiritual awareness expands and allows you to see the world differently. Your perception sharpens, your intuition strengthens, and your connection to something greater than yourself deepens. Meditation becomes deeper, your dreams more vivid. The fog that once clouded your mind begins to lift, and you realize how long you've spent in a state of numbness. The ancient masters understood that sexual energy, properly harnessed, could lead to enlightenment. This is why, throughout history, wise monks and spiritual seekers have practiced celibacy, not out of fear of pleasure, but because they understood its power. They knew that by mastering their desires instead of allowing themselves to be dominated by them, they could access levels of consciousness that most people never experience. They could access deeper wisdom, heightened creativity, and unwavering inner strength. And yet, in today's world, this practice is ridiculed, mocked, even demonized. Why? Because a man who controls his sexual energy is uncontrollable. He is not easily manipulated by desire, advertising, or cheap doses of dopamine. He is not a slave to his lower nature. He moves with purpose, acts with focus, and commands respect without a word. This is the power no one wants to give you, because the moment you gain it, you break free from the cycle that has kept you weak, distracted, and spiritually stagnant. You've felt it before, even if only for a brief moment, in that surge of energy after a few days of holding back. This feeling of heightened awareness, this sensation of being more in tune with yourself and the world around you. Imagine what would happen if you cultivated this energy instead of wasting it. Imagine what you could become if you harnessed it, refined it, and used it to fuel your growth. This is what the ancient teachings were trying to show you. This is the path to transformation. But theory is one thing, experience is another. And if you really want to understand the power of retention, you have to try it for yourself. Not for a day, not for a week, but for 30 days. A whole month to reclaim your energy, refocus your attention, and own your power. Because once you do, once you feel what it means to operate at your full potential, there's no going back. You've been exhorting yourself for years, even decades, without noticing the consequences. Have you felt that fog, that lethargy, that lack of motivation? Have you wondered why you can't stay consistent? Why is your concentration waning? Why is it difficult to break free from bad habits? And now, for the first time, do you understand what's happening? Have you seen the truth? Your energy, your life force, is being depleted with every excess. The question now is, what to do? It's not just a matter of knowledge. Knowing the truth is useless if you don't act on it. If you really want to exercise your power, if you want to feel what it means to be at the top of your game, you have to experience holding it. Not in theory, not as a vague idea, but as a lived reality. And the only way to do that is to take action. The next 30 days could change everything for you. For the first time in your life, you will commit to conserving your energy, resisting the urge to give in, and devoting it to something greater. You will monitor your mood, your focus, your strength, your confidence. You will pay attention to your behavior, how others greet you, how your mind begins to clear. And you will realize, if you can do it, that you have always been operating at a fraction of your potential. The first few days will be easy. The excitement of starting something, the new, will take hold of you. But soon the desires, thoughts, and urges will appear. The habits you've spent years consolidating will begin to emerge. And this is where most men fail. They allow themselves to be ruled by their urges. They mistake discomfort for a sign of a need for release. And is the truth. It's in this discomfort that transformation begins. It's your body adapting, healing, learning to function without the crutch of artificial pleasure. If you keep at it, something changes. Cravings fade, your energy rises. You feel stronger, more alive, more in control than ever. And it's not just psychological. Your body's changing. Your testosterone levels are rising. Your dopamine receptors are resetting. Your nervous system is rebalancing, becoming more sensitive to real pleasure, real experiences, authentic moments of connection. The fog, you're making progress. Your motivation is returning. Your discipline is strengthening. Your presence is becoming undeniable. But this challenge isn't just about retention. It's about using the saved energy to fuel something. Perhaps if you just hold on to it without redirecting it, without channeling it into something meaningful, the energy will accumulate without being able to express itself. So it's not just about avoiding letting go. It's about transforming yourself. It's about moving your body, training your mind, building something, creating something, accessing the version of yourself buried under years of wasted potential. On day 15, something incredible happens. The energy that once drained you now nourishes you. You wake up with a sense of purpose. Your mind is clear, your emotions are stable, your motivation is unwavering. People notice, women sense the shift in your energy, drawn to you without understanding why. Other men respect your presence, your confidence, your poise, and by day 30, you will have experienced what most men never do in true self-mastery. Because that is what it is all about. Controlling your impulses, controlling your energy, controlling yourself. Most men are slaves to their desires, buffeted by their emotions, controlled by the whims of the moment. But not you, not anymore. You've seen the truth, you understand the stakes, you know the power you hold within. And now you have a choice. Either you return to the cycle of complacency, exhaustion, and weakness, or you move forward, assert your power, and commit to something greater. This challenge is not for the faint of heart, nor for those seeking the easy way out. It is for those ready to break free, to rise above, to unleash their true potential. And if you succeed, if you stand firm and refuse to give in, you will understand something that cannot be explained but rather experienced. You'll feel it in your body, your mind, your soul, the power, the clarity, the undeniable presence of a man in control of himself. Most men will never know what that feels like. They'll continue on in the same ways, stuck in the same habits, never realizing what they could have been. But you're not most men. You wouldn't be here listening, absorbing, understanding if you were. The only question that remains is, Will you prove it to yourself? You were never meant to be weak. You were never meant to be addicted, distracted, and deprived of your power. But look around you. How many men today are truly in control of themselves? How many walk with confidence, purpose, and presence? How many of you are awake, aware, and fully engaged in life? The reality is that most people are trapped in a system designed to keep you exactly where you are. Weak, passive, and easily manipulated. And their biggest trick has been convincing you that's just the way it is. The system takes advantage of your weakness. The more distracted you are, the more money it makes. The more addicted you are, the easier it is to control yourself. Every industry profits from your lack of self-control. The food industry, the porn industry, the entertainment industry, the pharmaceutical industry. They all thrive when you're lost, numb, too exhausted to resist. And as soon as you begin to awaken, as soon as you take back your power, you become dangerous to them. That's why they mock semen retention. That's why they ridicule men who talk about discipline, self-control, and mastery. They need you to believe it's absurd. They want you to believe it's an outdated and unrealistic idea, so you'll never try it. Because if you did, if you really invested yourself in it, you'd see the truth, you'd feel the difference, and once you've felt it, there's no going back. A man who holds back his energy, who controls his impulses, who refuses to be ruled by his desires, is a threat. He's not easily swayed by marketing tactics. He doesn't need external validation to feel complete. He doesn't seek easy pleasure because he's cultivated something far more powerful: inner strength. He doesn't waste time chasing trivial distractions, too busy building something concrete. But breaking free from it isn't easy. The system has been programming you for years, reinforcing your patterns of weakness, rewarding instant gratification, making discipline impossible. This is why so many men fail. They try for a few days, then revert to their old ways, habits. They convince themselves it doesn't matter, that once again, it won't change anything, but it does. Every decision you make shapes the person you become. Every time you choose discipline over complacency, you reinforce a new reality. Every time you resist the urge to give in, you strengthen the foundation for your future. Joan, there will be resistance. Your mind will fight you. Your body will yearn for what it has been conditioned to seek. You will feel the pull of old habits that try to pull you back into comfort, into passivity, into the cycle that has trapped you for so long. But this time, you'll know the truth. You'll see the manipulation for what it is, and you'll have a choice. Remain a pawn in their game, or take back control and chart your own course. All the great men of history understood this. Warriors, kings, inventors, and spiritual leaders all knew the power of sexual energy. They all knew that self-control was the key to greatness. They built empires, created masterpieces, and shaped the world because they refused to let their impulses dictate their actions. They learned to channel their energy, focus it, and direct it towards something greater. Ian, now it's your turn. You're at a crossroads. You can continue living as you always have, stuck in the same cycles, feeling the same frustration, making the same excuses, or you can break free. You can choose mastery. You can take back the power that has eluded you for years. The system is not on your side. It never has been and never will be. But that doesn't mean you're powerless. It simply means you must fight for your freedom. You must take charge of your mind, your habits, your energy. No one will come to save you. No one will give you discipline, focus, and strength. You have to cultivate it yourself. It's not just about retention. It's about empowerment. It's about freeing yourself from the illusion that have fueled you your whole life and choosing something else. It's about realizing your full potential and refusing to be another victim of a broken system. Most men will never do this work. They will remain distracted, addicted, and exhausted. They will continue to seek fulfillment in things that only exhaust them further. But you are not like most men. You wouldn't be here if you were. The only question now is, what are you willing to do with this knowledge? Because knowing the truth is not enough. You have to act, embody it, live it, and once you do, everything changes. The way you perceive yourself, the way you evolve, the way people welcome you, everything changes. Because when a man finds his energy again, he finds his power again. And once you have it, there's no going back. Sexual energy, known in various traditions as G prana or life force, is considered the primordial source of all human creativity and manifestation. Not only is this energy responsible for procreation, but according to the deepest esoteric teachings, it is the driving force behind all ambition, innovation, and spiritual growth. In traditional Chinese medicine, Taoist masters have developed specific techniques to cultivate and preserve this vital energy over the millennia. The concept of Jin represents the most refined essence of the human being, a precious substance that, if well preserved, can transform into Qi, then into Shen. This internal alchemical transformation is known as the three treasures process and forms, the basis of spiritual immortality in Taoism. Advanced practitioners of these disciplines have reported extraordinary benefits that go far beyond physical improvement. They speak of a crystal clear mental clarity that allows them to perceive previously hidden patterns and connections. They describe a heightened intuition that seems to connect them to a higher intelligence, enabling them to make informed decisions even in complex and uncertain situations. Modern science is beginning to validate many of these age-old observations. Recent research has shown that sperm preservation affects not only hormone levels, but also brain neuroplasticity. Neurohuman studies show significant changes in brain areas related to decision-making, impulse control, and emotional regulation in people who practice sperm preservation. Mantak Chaya, a renowned contemporary Taoist master, has devoted decades to studying and teaching these ancient practices. According to his research, when a man preserves his sexual energy, it is not simply stored, but transformed into various forms of personal power. Preserved sexual energy can be used to strengthen the immune system, increase artistic creativity, improve athletic performance, or develop higher spiritual abilities. This energetic transmutation is not automatic. It requires specific techniques and consistent discipline. Taoist masters developed comprehensive exercise systems that included specific breathing exercises, body movements, visualizations, and meditative practices designed to circulate and purify this preserved energy throughout the body. In modern psychology, researchers like Dr. Gary Wilson has exhaustively documented the devastating effects of compulsive pornography consumption on the male brain. His studies reveal that excessive exposure to artificial sexual stimuli not only depletes physical energy, but also literally restructures neural pathways, creating addictive patterns similar to those observed in drug addicts. Men who manage to free themselves from these destructive patterns and adopt energy-saving practices experience profound transformations in many areas of their lives. Professionally, many report a marked improvement in their ability to concentrate, allowing them to tackle complex projects with previously unattainable persistence and clarity. In the social sphere, they develop a natural magnetic presence that attracts both professional opportunities and deeper, more rewarding personal relationships. This presence is neither feigned nor forced. It emerges naturally, the fruit of the preserved and refined vital energy that radiates from within. Indian spiritual traditions also recognize the transformative power of sexual energy, preserved in authentic Tantra. Sexual energy is considered a direct manifestation of the cosmic creative force. Practitioners learn to awaken and direct this energy to the crown of the head, activating higher centers of consciousness that are usually inactive. Experienced yogis who master these practices develop extraordinary abilities called siddhi, clairvoyance, telepathy, energy healing, and a deep intuitive understanding of the natural laws that govern the universe. Although these achievements may seem fantastic to the modern Western mind, they are consistently documented in the Vedic scriptures and confirmed by the direct experience of thousands of practitioners over the centuries. The conservation of sexual energy also has profound implications for aging and longevity. The ancient Taoists believed that each ejaculation shortened a man's life, not only through the loss of essential nutrients, but also through the gradual depletion of his fundamental life essence. Modern science has begun to investigate these claims and has discovered interesting correlations between ejaculation frequency and various markers of cellular aging. It is crucial to understand that retention does not mean repression. Traditional teachers have always emphasized the difference between consciously conserving one's energy and repressing it out of fear or guilt. True practice requires a transformation of one's relationship with sexuality, viewing it not as something dirty or shameful, but as a sacred force deserving of respect and conscious management. The path to energy mastery is not easy in the modern world. We are constantly bombarded with stimuli designed to activate our most primitive urges. The entertainment industry, advertising, and social media have perfected psychological manipulation techniques that make resisting these urges extremely difficult. However, those who persist in this endeavor gradually discover that they possess a will and determination they never suspected. Each small victory over their lower urges creates momentum that eventually becomes irresistible. They realize that true freedom comes not from being able to do whatever they want, but from the power to consciously choose what they want. The transformation resulting from this practice is not limited to the individual. It extends to all aspects of their lives and relationships. Men who master their sexual energy become natural leaders, not out of a desire for power over others, but because they have developed a certain self-control. This inner authority is immediately recognizable and respected. Their romantic relationships are also profoundly transformed. Instead of being driven by desperate need or emotional deprivation, they approach relationships with a sense of fulfillment and inner strength. This creates a completely different dynamic where they can offer sincere love without manipulative expectations, resulting in much deeper and more satisfying connections. They remember a man who is in control of his energy and his destiny.